Introduction. In the heart of an ancient and sprawling forest, where the leaves whispered tales of time and the trees stood as silent witnesses to the eons, there lived a lone wolf named Shadow. His tale, not one of fantasy but of the raw essence of survival, unfolded within the intricate web of nature's design. As we delve into the chapters of Shadow's life, we find ourselves drawn into a narrative that transcends the boundaries of fiction, presenting a poignant reflection of the struggles, triumphs, and tragedies that echo through the woods. Chapter by chapter, we will navigate the seasons that shape the wilderness, witness the instinctual dance of predator and prey, and explore the unexpected bonds that emerge in the face of adversity. Shadow, a creature of the wild, becomes the embodiment of the forest's resilience, adapting to the ever-changing landscape as it transforms from the vibrant hues of summer to the muted tones of autumn, and finally, to the harsh and unforgiving cold of winter. The story is not a fantastical adventure, but a contemplation of the daily struggles faced by inhabitants of the wild. It transcends the anthropomorphism often associated with animal stories, aiming for a realistic portrayal of the challenges that wild creatures endure in their quest for survival. As we traverse the narrative, we will witness the ebb and flow of life, the delicate balance of nature, and the profound impact of loss on even the most solitary of beings. Shadow's journey is a microcosm of life's trials, an allegory of the human experience mirrored in the untamed wilderness. Through the eyes of this lone wolf, we will explore themes of friendship, resilience, and the inevitability of loss. Join us as we venture into the depths of the forest, where reality unfolds in the shadowy embrace of nature, and where every howl, every rustle of leaves, tells a story of survival in its purest form.
Chapter 1: The Lone Wolf. In the heart of the dense and ancient forest, where sunlight filtered through the thick canopy of towering trees, there existed a world untouched by the hand of man. In this realm, a lone wolf named Shadow carved out his existence. Shadow, as he was aptly named, embodied the essence of solitude and self-reliance, a creature navigating the vast expanse of the wild with a grace born of instinct and survival. Shadow's fur, a mix of greys and blacks, blended seamlessly with the shadows of the towering trees. His amber eyes, keen and watchful, reflected the wisdom earned through countless days spent traversing the underbrush. His muscular frame spoke of the challenges he faced, a testament to the unforgiving nature of the wild. As the seasons cycled through their eternal dance, so did Shadow move with the rhythm of the forest. In the warm embrace of summer, the forest echoed with the vibrant symphony of life, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the distant murmur of a babbling brook. In this season of abundance, Shadow thrived, his keen senses guiding him through the verdant undergrowth in pursuit of prey. However, as summer yielded to the golden hues of autumn, a subtle shift occurred in the forest's temperament. The air grew crisper, and the once lush foliage began to carpet the forest floor. Shadow, ever the vigilant hunter, adapted to the changing landscape. His movements became more calculated, his senses heightened as he pursued his quarry through the maze of fallen leaves. As autumn's colors surrendered to the encroaching cold of winter, Shadow faced a new set of challenges. The biting wind carried tales of snow-laden days and frigid nights. The once lively forest transformed into a quiet, snow-covered expanse, each step marked by the soft crunch beneath his paws. Yet, Shadow persisted, driven by an unyielding will to survive. In the solitude of the forest, Shadow's days were marked by a primal rhythm, the hunt for sustenance, the wary vigilance against potential threats, and the moments of quiet reflection beneath the silvery glow of the moon. He was a lone wolf, a nomad of the woods, navigating a delicate balance between predator and prey. And so, in the vast tapestry of the ancient forest, Chapter 1 unfolded the tale of a solitary creature, a lone wolf named Shadow, whose life was intertwined with the ever-changing seasons and the unyielding dance of survival in the wild. Little did he know that his journey had just begun, and the chapters that followed would reveal the profound intricacies of life in the heart of the untamed wilderness.
Chapter 2: The Changing Seasons. In the intricate tapestry of the ancient forest, the passage of time manifested itself in the ever-shifting hues of the seasons. As summer's vibrant greenery surrendered to the slow descent of autumn, the life of Shadow, the solitary wolf, underwent a subtle metamorphosis. Chapter 2 unfurled against the backdrop of nature's grand theatre, where the stage was set with the rich colors of transformation. The transition from summer to autumn painted the forest in warm, earthy tones. The once verdant leaves embraced shades of amber, rust, and gold. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting a dappled mosaic on the forest floor. It was a time of change, a time when the very essence of the wood seemed to undergo a quiet revolution. For Shadow, the shift in seasons meant a recalibration of his instincts. The abundance of summer dwindled, and the creatures of the forest adjusted their rhythms to the changing landscape. The once teeming underbrush now crackled with the sound of fallen leaves, announcing the arrival of autumn. In response to the evolving environment, Shadow's movements became more deliberate. His senses, attuned to the pulse of the forest, adapted to the subtle alterations in scent and sound. The hunt, once a pursuit through the lush foliage, now required a different skill set. The prey, too, adjusted to the changing conditions, becoming more elusive in the carpet of fallen leaves. As autumn progressed, the forest underwent a gradual hush. The warmth of summer faded, replaced by the cool embrace of crisp air. The days grew shorter, and the nights seemed to stretch longer. Yet, Shadow pressed on, navigating the maze of changing seasons with a stoic resilience. And then came winter, a season of unparalleled beauty and unforgiving harshness. The forest, once adorned in the warm hues of autumn, was now draped in a pristine blanket of snow. The world transformed into a silent, monochromatic landscape, each snowflake bearing witness to the quiet drama of survival. Winter demanded a new level of adaptability from Shadow. The scent of prey was muted beneath the snow, and the chilling wind carried tales of isolation. Yet, the lone wolf persisted, his fur now providing not only camouflage but also insulation against the biting cold. Each paw print in the snow told a story of determination, of a creature braving the elements in the quest for sustenance. In Chapter 2,
The narrative unfolded not just as a chronicle of the changing seasons, but as a testament to Shadow's ability to evolve alongside nature's perpetual cycle. The forest, a realm of perpetual transformation, became the crucible in which the solitary wolf forged his resilience, adapting to the ebb and flow of life within its ancient embrace. Little did Shadow know that the seasons were but a prelude to the greater challenges and revelations that awaited him in the heart of the wilderness.
Chapter 3: The Hunt for Food. In the relentless rhythm of the ancient forest, each day dawned as a new chapter in Shadow's quest for sustenance. Chapter 3 unfolded with the dawn's soft light filtering through the intricate network of branches, casting elongated shadows on the forest floor. The lone wolf, Shadow, embarked on his daily ritual, the relentless pursuit of food. With every step, Shadow's keen senses came alive, attuned to the myriad sounds, scents, and subtle movements that whispered through the underbrush. His amber eyes, watchful and sharp, scanned the surroundings as he navigated the labyrinth of trees and foliage. The hunt was not just an instinct, it was a finely tuned art, an intricate dance choreographed by survival itself. His nose, a marvel of nature's design, detected the faintest traces of scent on the breeze. The subtle rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird, the delicate footprints left in the soil, all spoke to Shadow with a language only the wild could understand. In this symphony of nature, he discerned the whereabouts of potential prey, an ephemeral trail leading to sustenance. Shadow's movements were graceful yet purposeful, his lithe form gliding through the undergrowth with a predator's precision. His fur, a mosaic of greys and blacks, became one with the shadows, offering him a cloak of invisibility as he closed in on his quarry. The forest, once a familiar ally, now bore witness to the solitary wolf's prowess as a hunter. His acute senses guided him to the chosen spot, a clearing where the play of sunlight and shadow revealed the transient nature of life. The prey, unaware of the approaching hunter, grazed or foraged, ensnared in the delicate balance of the food chain. In a heartbeat, the chase began, a burst of speed and agility as Shadow pursued his meal. His sharp teeth, honed by countless encounters with the trials of survival, became instruments of fate. The successful hunt was not just a matter of strength, but of strategy, an understanding of the terrain and the subtle cues of the prey's behavior. Each successful capture was a testament to Shadow's ability to read the forest's language and respond in kind. However, as the chapters of Shadow's life progressed, a shadow fell upon the bounty of the woods. The once abundant prey became scarcer, and the dance of survival grew more challenging. The forest, in its perpetual transformation, presented a new set of obstacles, and the solitary wolf found himself facing the harsh reality of a changing environment. In Chapter 3, the story of Shadow's daily quest for sustenance unfolded as a microcosm of the delicate equilibrium within the wild. The hunt, once a predictable rhythm, now became a nuanced challenge, a test of adaptability in the face of scarcity. Little did Shadow know that the shifting dynamics of the forest would lead him towards unexpected alliances and uncharted territories, where the very essence of survival would be redefined in the subsequent chapters of his untamed life.
Chapter 4: The Struggle. With the passage of time, the forest that once cradled shadow in its ancient embrace underwent a profound transformation. Chapter 4 unfolded against a backdrop of change, a narrative marked by the somber tones of struggle and survival. As the days wore on, the once lively woods revealed a harsh reality to the lone wolf, Shadow. The rustling leaves, once a gentle whisper in the breeze, now carried the weight of hunger. The once abundant prey that had sustained Shadow's solitary existence became elusive, mirroring the broader struggles of the forest's inhabitants. The dance of survival, once a rhythm of nature's harmony, had now descended into a cacophony of desperation. In the fading light of dusk, Shadow ventured beyond his usual hunting grounds, driven by an instinctual quest for sustenance. His amber eyes, usually filled with the intensity of the hunt, now reflected a weariness born of the perpetual struggle against the unforgiving hand of nature. As Shadow moved through the underbrush, the forest revealed its stark truth. Other creatures, once distant figures in the vast expanse of the woods, now emerged as fellow protagonists in a narrative of shared adversity. The cries of hunger and the plaintive calls for solace echoed through the trees, a chorus of creatures bound by the common struggle for survival. Shadow, though a lone wolf by nature, found himself in the company of those who mirrored his own plight. Their once silent existence had transformed into a symphony of shared suffering. A glimpse into the eyes of a fellow creature spoke volumes, a language of vulnerability, of the raw instinct to persevere against the odds. The camaraderie forged in the crucible of adversity created an unspoken bond among the inhabitants of the forest. A silent acknowledgement passed between them, transcending the boundaries of species. It was a testament to the universal language of struggle, a language that spoke of hunger, of resilience, and of the collective will to endure. The once lively forest, where the rustle of leaves and the calls of creatures had harmonized in a natural melody, now resonated with a dissonant chord. It was a tableau of life in its most unvarnished form, stripped of the romanticism often associated with the wild. The struggle, palpable in the air, became the defining theme of this chapter in Shadow's life. Yet, amidst the adversity, the forest bore witness to the indomitable spirit of its inhabitants. Chapter 4, while heavy with the weight of struggle, also became a testament to the resilience woven into the fabric of the wild. As Shadow faced the harsh reality of the forest, he discovered that the struggle was not a solitary journey but a collective saga, where the echoes of hunger and desperation were met with the unwavering determination of creatures united in their quest for survival. The subsequent chapters would reveal whether this shared struggle would lead to a transformation in the dynamics of the forest or merely deepen the imprint of survival's harsh lessons on the untamed hearts within.
Chapter 5: The Unexpected Friendship. In the ceaseless rhythm of the forest, where each chapter unfolded with the echo of struggle, an unexpected turn awaited Shadow. One day, as he traversed the familiar terrain in search of sustenance, fate intervened, altering the course of his solitary existence. Chapter 5 brought forth a revelation that transcended the primal dance of predator and prey, a moment that would redefine the boundaries of the wild. As Shadow moved through the underbrush, his senses keenly attuned to the subtle cues of the forest, he stumbled upon an injured deer. The creature, its once graceful form marred by the unmistakable signs of struggle, lay vulnerable amidst the roots and fallen leaves. It was a stark reminder of the harsh realities that permeated the woods, a tableau of pain etched into the very fabric of nature. The instinctual response of a lone wolf would have been to seize the opportunity for an easy meal, to succumb to the demands of survival at the expense of another's suffering. However, as Shadow stood before the wounded deer, a peculiar hesitation gripped him. It was as if an unseen force compelled him to reconsider the age-old script of predator and prey. The deer, though injured, sensed no immediate threat from the looming presence of the wolf. Instead of recoiling in fear, it met Shadow's gaze with eyes that mirrored its own vulnerability. In that moment, a silent understanding passed between them, a recognition that transcended the boundaries of their respective roles in the wild. The forest, usually a stage for the stark drama of survival, now witnessed an unexpected tableau, an injured deer and a lone wolf locked in a gaze that spoke of something beyond instinct. Shadow, in an unprecedented departure from the norm, chose not to exploit the deer's weakness. Instead, he stood beside it, a silent sentinel in the heart of the woods. The injured deer, perhaps recognizing the unspoken truce, allowed Shadow to share its space. In this moment of unexpected connection, the forest ceased to be a mere backdrop to the relentless pursuit of survival. It became a canvas for the exploration of a nuanced relationship, a bond that defied the conventions of the wild. Chapter 5 unfolded as a testament to the unpredictable nature of the untamed world. In the face of adversity, an unlikely companionship emerged, challenging the established order of predator and prey. Shadow and the injured deer, united by a silent understanding, embarked on a journey that would weave threads of compassion and camaraderie into the fabric of the ancient forest. Little did they know that this unexpected friendship would not only redefine Shadow's perception of the wild but also introduce a new chapter in the unfolding narrative of life in the heart of the untamed wilderness. The subsequent chapters would reveal the depth and significance of this bond, exploring whether such connections could withstand the relentless forces that shaped the intricate dance of survival within the forest's ancient embrace.
Chapter 6: The Circle of Life. In the heart of the ancient forest, where the boundaries between predator and prey blurred into unexpected alliances, Chapter 6 unfolded with the revelation of an improbable companionship between Shadow, the lone wolf, and the injured deer. Their connection, forged in a moment of vulnerability, blossomed into a unique bond that defied the conventional narratives of the wild. As days turned into weeks, Shadow and the deer found themselves navigating the challenges of the forest side by side. The once predator and prey became collaborators in the intricate dance of survival, and the woods bore witness to a narrative that transcended the instinctual rhythms of the untamed world. Their companionship went beyond the superficial dynamics of predator and prey. Shadow, usually the solitary nomad of the woods, now shared the burden of survival with a creature that, by all accounts, should have been a mere means to an end. The injured deer, in turn, discovered an unexpected ally in the form of a wolf whose instincts were tempered by a newfound understanding. Together, they ventured into the heart of the forest, their journeys marked by a silent communication that spoke volumes. The once lonely wolf and the wounded deer became co-conspirators in the pursuit of sustenance, their unique partnership a testament to the resilience and adaptability inherent in the circle of life. The challenges of the forest, once a solitary burden for Shadow, now became shared trials. The injured deer, with its acute awareness of the environment, guided Shadow to hidden pockets of vegetation and water sources. In return, Shadow's predatory prowess provided protection and a sense of security to the deer in a world fraught with dangers. Their union revealed the intricate interdependence woven into the very fabric of the forest. The circle of life, usually characterized by the stark cycles of predator consuming prey, expanded to encompass a more nuanced narrative. Shadow and the deer, despite their inherent differences, discovered that survival was not merely a solo endeavor, but a collaborative effort, a delicate dance of reciprocity within the wild. As the seasons cycled through their eternal dance, the forest echoed with the harmony of a newfound equilibrium. The once lively woods, now touched by the essence of this unique companionship, became a testament to the complexity of life in its purest form. The circle of life, rather than a relentless cycle of conquest, transformed into a symphony of cooperation, where each participant played a vital role in the intricate web of existence. Chapter 6, with its exploration of the evolving dynamics between Shadow and the deer, showcased the resilience of life in the face of adversity. The forest, in all its ancient wisdom, demonstrated that the circle of life could manifest in unexpected ways, transcending the predictable patterns of survival and forging connections that defied the harsh laws of the wild. As Shadow and the deer continued their journey, the subsequent chapters would delve deeper into the complexities of their relationship, exploring whether their bond could withstand the relentless currents that shaped life within the untamed wilderness.
Chapter 7, Loss and Grief. As the pages of Shadow's life turned, Chapter 7 unfurled with a somber undertone, casting a shadow over the once harmonious companionship that had bloomed between the lone wolf and the injured deer. Despite the resilience they had demonstrated together, the forest's challenges persisted, and tragedy, an unwelcome guest in the wilderness, struck with an unrelenting force. One fateful day, the deer, whose vulnerabilities had bound it to Shadow in a unique alliance, succumbed to the harshness of the wild. The forest, once a canvas for the intricate dance of survival and camaraderie, became a stage for an inevitable act of nature, the circle of life, marked by both triumph and loss. Shadow, who had come to rely on the deer's silent companionship, found himself facing the harsh reality of mortality. The once vibrant creature, a fellow traveler in the journey through the ancient woods, now lay still, a poignant reminder of the ephemeral nature of life in the untamed wilderness. Grief, an emotion not often associated with the stoic demeanor of a lone wolf, gripped Shadow's heart with an intensity that echoed through the silent reaches of the forest. The air, thick with the weight of loss, bore witness to a mournful howl that resonated through the trees, a lament for a companion lost, a bond severed by the unyielding hand of fate. In the solitude of the night, Shadow's mournful howl became a requiem for the departed, a raw expression of the loneliness that now enveloped him. The once shared struggles, the silent communications, and the moments of unity beneath the moonlight were now memories, woven into the fabric of the forest but forever tinged with the bittersweet hues of remembrance. The weight of grief hung heavy on Shadow's shoulders as he navigated the now familiar paths alone. The once thriving companionship, built on the foundations of shared hardship, had crumbled in the face of an inescapable truth: the transient nature of life in the wild. The forest, usually indifferent to the individual dramas that unfolded within its depths, bore witness to the lone wolf's solitary journey through the labyrinth of mourning. Chapter 7 became a poignant exploration of loss and grief in the heart of the untamed wilderness. Shadow, accustomed to the ebb and flow of survival, now grappled with an emotional tempest that mirrored the storms that swept through the ancient woods. The subsequent chapters would reveal whether this period of mourning would redefine Shadow's perception of the wild or merely deepen the imprint of solitude on the untamed heart within. As the lone wolf navigated the aftermath of tragedy, the forest, with its eternal wisdom, awaited the next chapter in the unfolding narrative of survival and self-discovery.
Chapter 8: The Lesson Learned. As the moon cast its silvery glow upon the silent expanse of the ancient forest, Chapter 8 emerged as the final stanza in the ballad of Shadow's life, a chapter defined by introspection, resilience, and the profound wisdom gleaned from the crucible of loss. In the midst of sorrow, the lone wolf stood as a sentinel beneath the towering trees, a creature of the wild whose journey through the untamed wilderness had become a tapestry woven with threads of connection, hardship, and, ultimately, a poignant lesson learned. The echoes of the mournful howl lingered in the air, a lingering lament for the departed companion who had once shared the trials and triumphs of life within the woods. Shadow, though cloaked in the solitude that defined his existence, now bore the scars of a profound experience, a connection forged, lost, and mourned. The forest, a realm of perpetual change and unforgiving challenges, had become both teacher and crucible. In the quiet moments that followed the tragedy, Shadow reflected upon the fleeting nature of life in the wild. The once vibrant deer, now a memory etched into the fabric of the ancient forest, served as a poignant reminder that the circle of life, while inevitable, bore the weight of fragility. In this reflection, the lone wolf found a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness that defined the untamed world. The forest, with its cycles of birth and demise, its seasons of abundance and scarcity, became a metaphor for the impermanence of existence. In the face of this revelation, Shadow discovered that the importance of connections transcended the immediacy of survival. The bonds formed in the crucible of shared experiences held a significance that echoed through the ages, shaping the narrative of life within the ancient woods. The lesson learned was not one of defeat, but of resilience, a recognition that even in the face of tragedy, the dance of survival persisted. The forest, in its eternal wisdom, whispered secrets of adaptation and endurance. Shadow, once defined by his solitude, understood that the strength drawn from connections, however transient, could fortify the spirit against the relentless currents of change. As the lone wolf continued to navigate the dense underbrush, each step marked by the weight of the lesson learned, He embraced the evolving rhythms of the forest. The fragility of life, once a source of sorrow, now became a catalyst for a renewed sense of purpose. Shadow, having weathered the storms of grief, emerged from the shadows with a resilience honed by the experiences etched into the very core of his being. In the final pages of Shadow's tale, the forest stood as a silent witness to the evolution of a lone wolf whose journey through loss had imparted a profound lesson, a lesson that transcended the primal laws of the wild. The subsequent chapters, though unwritten, held the promise of continued adaptation, survival, and the ongoing exploration of the intricate tapestry that defined life in the heart of the untamed wilderness. And so, beneath the moonlit canopy, Shadow forged ahead, carrying within him the wisdom gleaned from the eons-old dance of existence.